Hi, it's Leanne from Body Shop Performance. This week's blog is about, is stress bad for your mind, your body and your well-being? And the answer, of course, is yes. But why? Well, what happens when we're in a stress state is we release different sorts of hormones, predominantly cortisol, which can have a negative effect on our body composition because cortisol instructs the liver to secrete glucose into the bloodstream, in effect to get us ready for action because it thinks we're in a threat state. So then we've got elevated glucose in the blood. That is not great for our energy levels. It's not great for our body composition either. In other words, for our weight management. But stress can also have an effect on the entire body from top to tail. It can switch on and off genes that we don't necessarily want switched on or off. So it can significantly affect our overall health through our genetic expression, which I think is fascinating. It also affects the nervous system. So the nervous system, in particular we're talking about, is the autonomic nervous system. There are two branches to this nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Now sympathetic is our fight, flight, freeze response. That's our threat state basically. And when we're stressed, we're in a sympathetic dominant state. Parasympathetic is our rest and digest. And that's the state we want to be in most of the time, but not all of the time. It's important to move from a sympathetic to parasympathetic to sympathetic to parasympathetic dominant state. That's what we were designed to do. As ancestral people, we weren't always relaxed and chilled out by the campfire, but we weren't always being attacked and chasing predators either. So our body is used to working between those two types of nervous system states. But the issue is when the stress becomes prolonged and elevated. It's fine to be stressed some of the time, and that stress could be a deadline, a very, very stressful event, a health scare, or it could be a workout. So there are different types of stress. A workout puts us into that stress state, but it's hormetic. In other words, it has something that could be bad for us, but in a small dose has a positive effect. So in order to change our physiology, we want to take ourselves into a stress state through exercise, for example, every now and again, provided we get suitable recovery. So the thing with stress is it's okay to have it as long as it's not prolonged, as long as it's not elevated for long periods of time, and as long as you build in enough recovery. And that really is the key here. Most people I speak to, or most people I observe, don't get enough recovery. So there's too much stress, not enough recovery. If you can try and make that stress spikier, but building in lots of recovery in between, you're going to find that it has a far less detrimental effect on your health. Now I hope that makes sense. To summarise, stress is very bad for the body if it's prolonged and elevated. It can change our gene expression. It can affect the nervous system, which in turn affects just about the whole body. So manage your stress well. Meditation, movement, exercise, good food, time to yourself, all of these things are really crucial. Have a look at your diary, see where you can put in micro breaks as well, just to take your foot off the gas every now and again. And if you have something in your life that's overwhelmingly stressful, have a look at it. Does that need to be there? Is that a person you need to be around? Is that a job you need to be doing? Is this something you really enjoy, or are you doing it because you thought you were good at it or thought you should be doing it? So I hope all that's helpful. I'll talk to you next week.